I don't think they've processed it yet. I'll give it till tomorrow. And if it's processed, make sure everything's okay before I start ordering another one. And I'm going to give another one a try. This time be just a little more careful with it.
Yeah, okay, I hear you. That's a good idea. Well, hopefully it works out, man. Hopefully that, works out. That would be good. Because I don't know. Maybe you could send me a link. I'd like to check that thing out, because you would think it's just cable. It's not like Verizon where it's like fiber optic or anything like that. It's cable. And like the grounding block that they use outside of my house, and I'm sure the one that they originally used on yours, is nothing special. And like in here, they're using just regular splitters and stuff. So I don't think it shouldn't be anything special, like Comcast specific.
No, it's just that the surge suppressor may not go up at a high in frequency. I put an ohm meter on it, and it's continuity on the center conductor from one side to the other. So I know that's what I did to it, especially since I read continuity now.
Okay. All right. Well, then, yeah, you should be good to go then. So. Well, good. Glad you got it all figured out there. That's good. So, did you have a lot of stuff to take to the dump today?
Yeah, well, I got a paper shredder down here in the shack. That bag was full. I took that. Some of that stuff in the pantry on the other side, all those cans, a lot of them were out of date. So I gathered up a whole ton of those things, brought those to the dump. I'm really starting to go through. The other thing is, you know what I was thinking of? For all that junk in the barn and all that I want to get rid of, it may be better off just renting a dumpster. It probably cost me $150 or something, but it's a one-shot deal. I'll get a couple of days. We can just bring that stuff all out there and throw it in there. We'd have to make a lot of trips with that trailer to get rid of all this stuff.
Yeah, it would be a lot of trips. Especially for some of the bigger stuff like that furniture and stuff like that. Now, I know some dump, depending on how large of a dump, how many yard dumpster you get, they can get pretty pricey. Because obviously you're going to need a bigger one than like the Red Oak disposal one you had there before. You're going to have a pretty decent sized dumpster. So I'm not sure how much they cost. I'm gonna go ahead and look it up. Dumpster rental prices, and see if there's anything online that'll give you kind of a ballpark there. But that sounds like a good idea if you can get one for cheap enough, as long as it's not super expensive or anything. But that's definitely a good idea. Yeah, how about me getting that chainsaw running, man? That thing, I put a new spark plug in it, man. That thing fired right up probably after, I don't know, maybe eight or 10 pulls. The thing fired right up.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, there ain't much to a two-stroke engine. That probably had a lot to do with it. So that's great. I had a dumpster here when I paid for a dumpster when we tore up that deck in the back. The contractor, I took care of the dumpster. I think it was about $250. Come to think of it. I know it ain't cheap, but I'm just thinking there's a ton of stuff in that barn. I mean, it'd be a lot of trips. That big table, the table from that. I'll have to take another look at it, from the deck furniture. And there's a lot of junk piled on that one side. All that stuff is trash over there. Almost all of it. And then I got stuff in here that I want to sell. That Nordic track of hers, I'll never use that damn thing. I'm going to sell that. I want to put an ad in the paper for that.
dumpster sizes, okay? A 10-yard dumpster is 10 foot long by 4 feet high by 7 feet wide. Okay. Then the 20-yard is 22 feet long, 3 feet high, 8 feet wide. And average national cost for a 10-yard dumpster is $377.45. Average. It says anywhere between $222 to $589, and a 20-yard is $424 is the average cost, and anywhere between $281 to $699. So you would at least need a 10-yard dumpster for all that stuff, because that thing would probably fill up faster than you'd realize. But you may be able to get by with a 10-yard dumpster. I'm just thinking, just all that big crap. Because there's that table there, there's the old furniture that was in the living room, and besides that, there's really not that much really large stuff. It's just a bunch of little junk, right?
Yeah, I think a 20 would do it. I think a 20 would do it. I don't want to get something too small, because then that's a problem. I think a 20 would do it for all that stuff. Some of that stuff we could break up. That wicker furniture, we could bust that up to fit it in there. Okay, because that's going to be a lot of air gaps, if you just set it in there. But I think a 20, we can get all that stuff in with a 20.
Yeah, I think you definitely have room to spare. I don't think 20. That's big, man. 3 feet tall, 8 feet long. Yeah. I think 20 would be, obviously, I think would be more than enough. And like you said, you don't want to get one, too small, and and then you're kind of screwed. But yeah, I'm looking at there's a few different sizes of 20-yarders. Yeah, 4.5 feet tall by 8 foot by 22 foot, and there's one that's 4 foot by 8 foot by 22, and 3 foot by 8 foot by 22. So, yeah, I think that would be it's definitely a really good idea, because it would be, that trailer of yours isn't that big, and it's well, see, this place has like a 15-yarder too. Like, you just have to call, and see what, maybe the people on the phone can help you too. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, whenever you want to do it, we can do it. Yeah, you don't think about it until you really, I guess, you go in there and then you look around and then you realize how much crap there really is.
W2SDR. Well, now you're starting that job. I got to see how much it's. I know what it costs because I had it before, so I know the ballpark. I had Red Oak. They dropped it off. And they got to drop it off near the road. I don't want that thing on my driveway because they'll bust up the driveway with that big truck. That's why I canceled the dumpster to begin with. It'll be down by the road, so I'll have to bring that stuff down to the road. That's not going to be that big of a deal. And so, all right, something to think about. After some of this heat breaks here, I'm going to do when it's 90 freaking degrees. So there you go. I mean, this stuff's been sitting in there for decades. Another couple of months ain't going to hurt. So, yeah, all right. Not bad. My SWRs are really low here. I'm using, it's 2.5 to 1 without the tuner, but with that tuner that's built into this amp. 1.07 to 1 there, go ahead. W2SDR.
And W3MMR. Yeah, mine's at 1.29, 1.3, 1.31, something like that. It's like bouncing back and forth. Just the flickering, must be right on the edge there, but it's generally where this antenna is. And it's resonant right here. This is the lowest point. So close enough for me. You know, it wasn't worth pulling the thing back down and trying to get it a little bit lower. I'm not hurting anything over here. Definitely not hurting this amplifier. So it's good enough for government work. But yeah, I'm super happy about this this new position here, man. Right up the street. God, man. 3 blocks away. Making more money than what I was making before. It's almost like too good to be true. But it's cool. No, I'm glad it all worked out. I had a feeling it was going to, man, but you never know. You know, and the guys are super nice up there. They're really, really nice guys. It's completely different than, you know, the crew that was there before. There's one guy that was there before. This older guy, Daryl. He's probably your age, and he's been there forever. Man, he almost got killed out front of that place. He was up changing the letters or doing something on the sign out front, and the ladder slipped out, and he fell down and like shattered his back right on the driveway. I guess he came back to work right before I started the last time there, and he had just come back, and I guess he was in intensive care for a while and was in the hospital for like 5 months, and he's back out working in the shop now. He wasn't working in the shop when I was there. He was, you know, working in the office and up front at the desk and or at the counter. But he's back out in the shop now. He's a grumpy old man, though, boy. He's like Ed Durrell from Up at Ed's times 10. That's how grumpy this guy is, you know. But I guess anybody who's been working at this, you know, in this business for as long as he has could get pretty grumpy if we know. Well, especially working in a place like that for that long. So I guess it's par for the course. But no, I'm happy about it, man. I'm looking forward to it, and you know, and start making some moves here. That's for sure. W3MMR.
Yeah, W2SDR. I'm just looking at this surge suppressor thing. Yeah, that's probably what happened there. I'm glad the other one didn't get ruined, me screwing that thing back on again. Well, anyway, it works. I got cable. Everything's okay. It's got those special weatherproof connectors on out there, you know. They're real nice ones. They have them in Home Depot. Did you ever see them things that got like rubber things on them?
Yeah, they got like the rubber boots on the end. Yeah, I got them outside of here. They're nice.
Yeah, you need a special crimper to put them on. I don't have the crimper. I've got a crimper for the regular ones, but not for them. So I don't want to have to replace the connector. Well, I guess I could call the cable company, said, you know, something's wrong with my cable, and they'd come out. I don't want to get into that. All right. Anyway, how come you don't get a lot of guys on here in the afternoons anymore? We're going to run until a little bit later.
Everybody, the normal crew was on here yesterday afternoon, but it's been that way for the past, I don't know, probably a couple weeks. There hasn't been that many people on here in the around this time. A little bit later, you know, people started to pile in here, but it's Tuesday, so I think Clark he does that radio show. I think that he does that on Tuesdays. That's probably where he is. I know Billy's been working a lot, and he works out, you know, in the heat and stuff. So I think he's been worn out or just from copying the mail. And Daryl's been popping in here, in and out. He's off. I think he's on vacation for a couple weeks. But all in all, no, it's been definitely a lot quieter here in the evenings. Than it was for a while there. So, you gonna watch the any of the All-Star game tonight?
What time does it start? 9?
8 or 9? I think it's on tonight. Usually it's right after, the day after the home run derby. Let's see, All-Star game time. 7:30 it starts. Well, that's when the coverage starts. Lord knows when the game will start. Which will probably start around 8:30, so I'll probably catch a little bit of it before I fall asleep. But since there's really no Phillies in there, I'm not really that interested in watching it. Usually the All-Star games are, man. It's just nobody's playing that hard, and score gets run up, especially with the way this ball is. And they were talking about that. I was listening to 94.1 for a while today, and they were talking about that and what that Justin Verlander said. Did you read the quote of what he said? I had no idea that Major League Baseball bought Rawlings, the baseball company. They bought them a few years ago, and then all of a sudden the balls are jumping like crazy right after they purchased the company. And I was reading the Verlander quote, and he mentioned that in there, and it really made some good points. And he was pissed too. He was cussing and this, that, and the third. And I mean, I don't blame him. He's given up, I think, more home runs. I think he's given up more home runs than he ever has in his career this season. And I think he's given up the most of any pitcher in the league, if I read that. If I read that correctly. And so, he's still got a pretty low ERA, but yeah, he's not the only pitcher, obviously, that said something. It's just, it was interesting to see what he said.
W2SDR. You know what the problem is? I don't know what kind of poll they did, but I guess Missinelli set a poll like 60-some% of people like the more home runs. 33% said there's too many home runs. So it seems like whatever poll he was doing, most of the fans like all these home runs. And if that's true, they'll never do anything about it. Say that, they've screwed it up, but maybe people like that. They like high scoring. They like to watch that stuff. And, as the years go by, you get less and less purists, and these things change. And they screw it up, but that's our opinion that it's my opinion that it's screwed up. But if people like it, there's going to be no change to it. But it's ridiculous. It just looks to me like they're playing on a Little League field. That's how many balls go over the fence. Pretty soon the outfielders are going to be playing right up against the wall. They're going to be standing on step ladders against the wall.
You're right, man. You're right. Oh, boy. I'll send you an article here about what he said. And he says, if any other $40 billion company bought out a $400 million company and the product changed dramatically, it's not a guess as to what happened. We all know what happened. Manfred, the first time he came in, what did he say? He said we want more offense. All of a sudden he comes in and the balls are juiced. It's not coincidence. We're not idiots, is what he said. Then he goes on to say a lot more, like they've juiced the balls, and it's a known fact that they juice the balls for the home run derby, so they know how to do it, and this, that, and the third, and it's a pretty good article. You're interested in it, so I'll send the link over to you. But Verlander has allowed a major league high 26 home runs this year, so. In their own pace to, I think, hit 600 or 700 more home runs this year than the highest, the previous record-setting years. So, well, that's sports, or that's sports, in general. Everybody wants high scoring. They want more offense. They want this. They want that. But I think that they should, especially in baseball, because like you always say, it's a game of records. Baseball is a game of statistics. Records, that they should have done this at the steroid era and put an asterisk next to McGuire and Sosa and Barry Bonds and them. But they should stop the record books now and then start the record books over again almost. You know what I mean? It's you know, or have two separate records. It's a shame. It really is. You know, like, them guys are rolling over in their graves, man. W3MMR.
W2SDR. Well, you know, it's everything in this world, Perry, is all about money. And if it's going to attract more fans to have home run derby at every game, that's what they're going to do. They don't care that that's what's going to happen. There's a lot of things that changed for the worse, in my opinion, in this world in the last 30 or 40 years, but there's nothing that can be done about it. I mean, there's a lot of things that gotten better, too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just Mr. Good Old Days, but there's a lot of things that have screwed up, and this is one of them. You know, there's no question about that in my mind. But, you know, everybody thinks differently. I'm behind, I can't wait to read that article. I mean, I'm behind Verlander. Of course, I'm surprised the pitchers haven't griped about it more. And the same with the mound, the whole bit. But if people want to see that, people don't like, I guess, 1-0 games, 2-1 pitching duels. They don't like it. They're going to yawn, and they're going to want home runs. You know, and that's all there is to it. And the pitchers are going to take the brunt of it. Now it's like pretty soon any ERA under 5 is good. You know, if you don't, you keep the score into single digits, you had a great game. But it's a game, and I guess I notice it more because I haven't watched baseball in a long time, because we couldn't watch the Phillies here because of no cable, right? So it took me a few games to see something's changed here. There's something different about this game. You know, I mean, it takes a while to see. Well, one game, a lot of people hit home runs. That's the game. Yeah, it's one game. But then you watch it day in and day out, and it's like, hey, wait a minute here. You know, something's changed since I watched these games before. What the heck's going on here? All right, I'm going to run upstairs. I bought some corn on the cob. I'm going to make some of that, and I got some peaches today. But I'm going to go up, get ready and go up to the township. The guy's supposed to be there at 6, so I'm going to get there. I don't want to get there beforehand, but a little after to see if I can square away this address, because I don't want these things to be forwarded. I want to either pick them up or have them right here, because I don't want to go through a lot of a pain in the neck with that. And, you know, that thing's over with that situation, and I just want to turn a page, you know. Okay, I'll look for you later. I'll be on the DMR, and I'll be around. I won't even come back down here later. We'll have to see, but I don't think so, because the game will be coming on soon, and I'll be eating at dinner. So I'll catch you later, probably on the other DMR, W3MMR, W2SDR, going to DMR.
Hey, all right, man. I gotta run down and grab my laundry. I washed the couch cushion covers and all the sheets and blankets and everything today, so I gotta run down and get those. And then I'll be back here in a little bit, back to the house. So good talking to you, man. And yeah, I sent you that article over, so give it a read. And we'll catch you a little bit later. W2SDR. Take care. W3MMR.
7-3.